for season 2 of Souffle Girl, where I show you how to cook food featured on over 50 years of Doctor Who. Today I have been asked to show you fish fingers and custard, so I thought that for the premiere that's coming up the next season of Doctor Who, you could have an entire fish finger and custard themed party. So we're going to start off with our first recipe, which is real fish fingers. We've got fresh and very cold cod, and we've mixed in panko breadcrumbs, which there are also gluten-free panko, so get that if you're intolerant. 2 tablespoons mayonnaise, and I'm just about to add the second egg, and we've also got a little bit of salt in there. And just mix everything up together. Until it forms a paste. You're going to make sure that all of the breadcrumb pockets are mixed in thoroughly and soaked with the egg. That way everything sticks together. Alright, that looks pretty good. Okay, so I've just got a square pan that I have lined with cellophane. And you're just going to dump that in there. And we're going to freeze it. And then cut it into our fish finger shapes. And then that will make it easier to get the classic shape that they had on the show, which was actually sort of larger than any other fish stick that you would regularly get out of a box. That is because it's actually cake. I'm going to show you how to make that next. So just flatten it all down there. The rest of the plastic wrap over it. Alright, and then just pop that in the freezer until it's solid enough to cut. Okay, now that you've cut your fish sticks into little bar shapes and they have gotten nice and chilled, it's time to take them and dredge them in flour mixture. Again, the recipes for all of these will be down below, so no worries, and they're all super easy. Just get a little bit of flour on that, dip in the egg. Make sure to get the ends, and then dip it in the panko. And this is a panko and cornmeal mixture, so that you get that sort of classic fish stick coating. Okay, and try to work with the wet, yucky stuff with one hand, and then just the panko with the other. And what the flour and egg mixture does is the flour helps the egg stick, the egg helps the panko stick. That way you get like a delicious crispy crust. Okay, so now that you have dredged, egged, and pankoed all of your fish sticks, it's time to chill them again. They need to be really cold when you either stick them in the frying pan or the oven at 400 for 15 to 20 minutes or until they get nice and crispy. And the reason that you need to chill them is, if they start off kind of warmer and then you cook them again, they kind of fall apart. So it's very important to get them cold so that they don't fall apart when you cook them. Okay, so you're going to need a custard to go with your fish fingers if you're not prepared to eat actual custard with your fish fingers. So we're gonna make sort of like a tartar sauce to go with them, and it, I promise you, is going to look as much like custard as a non-custard dip can possibly look. So we got a half a cup of sour cream. Just add that to your bowl there. And a half a cup of very good mayonnaise. and then a tablespoon of horseradish. Give it some kick. And a teaspoon of mustard powder. Just mix that all together. All right, looks pretty good. Just clean up the edges, and you're ready to cook your fish sticks. Now for the dessert. So if you're not prepared to have actual fish fingers with actual custard, you can pretend by having cake fish fingers with custard. So I've just gone ahead and pre-made a sponge cake, and the recipe will be below, don't worry, it's super easy. And then I baked it in a square pan and cut them into fish finger shapes. And I'm going to dip them in just a basic icing. Recipe will also be down below. You just dunk them in, get them all covered, drip off the excess, and then I've got toasted cookies, cookie crumbles. So what I used were ladyfingers, but you could use vanilla wafers or another just sort of plain flavored cookie crumble. You just want to coat the whole thing nice and thick. Get the ends and fish fingers. So just set that on a wire rack on a pan with wax paper, tin foil underneath it. That way you catch any crumbly drips and stuff and they don't stick to your pan. After we get all of these covered, we're gonna stick them in the fridge and keep them cool while we wait for our custard to cool off. Okay, so while you're waiting for everything to set up or cook or whatever, let's make a cocktail. This is fish finger and custard flavored cocktail, obviously without the fish, but we do have jellyfish. So, not quite sure what to call it, either the 11th hour cocktail or fish teas, but you're gonna wanna rim them by dipping the glass in water. And then I've got some crumbled vanilla wafers and a little bit of sugar mixed together. And that just adds sort of the crunch from out the outer edge of the fish fingers. So just rim your glass like that. And get your fish jelly wedge ready to go. Stick that on there. Okay, set that aside. Then we've got white chocolate liqueur, half and half, and vanilla flavored vodka. And just mix the three of those together. All of them need to be chilled. So just get those mixed up. The chocolate liqueur is a little bit thicker, so it takes a second to get them all incorporated. I promise you, this is delicious and worthy of such a sweet tooth doctor as 11. Okay, so now that's mixed up. You're ready to serve. All right, so there is our fish teeny, or your 11th hour cocktail, whatever you'd like to call it. Let me know. Maybe take a poll at the bottom and then we'll officially name it and I'll announce it on Twitter and everything. But so here it is. Cheers. Enjoy. Rich and creamy, but not too rich and creamy. Just enough vodka. Okay, so now that your custard has cooled and your fish fingers have been setting up the fridge, you get to plate them and serve. And I think this will go great with your real fish fingers, fake custard, and your fish teenies, or maybe 11th hour cocktails. I'm not sure, you tell me. What are they called? So I hope that you enjoy your premiere night full of fish fingers and custard. Let me know what you think. Please subscribe and like if you like the video. I'll see you next time.